So in this video, we're going to talk about multiples and factors, as well as the highest common multiple and the lowest common multiple and the highest common factor. So let's begin with the multiples. What I've done here, I've chosen two numbers, let's say 3 and 4. And what I've done, I've written a list of the 3 times table and the 4 times table next to each other, just to kind of refresh a little bit the idea of the multiples, common multiples, and lowest common multiple. So as we can see from the both lists, we have 12 appearing as a multiple of both 3 and 4, and that's the first multiple. And then the next one that I can see that it's common is like 24. And of course, there's going to be a few others if you carry on. And there's a couple of things that we need to discuss about that. If you can see, like from 12 to 24, then you're going to have a plus 12, which means if I want to predict what the next one is going to be, right, it's going to be 36. And this is exactly the same way that behaves for the times 4. So 36 is the next expected common multiple. All the numbers, including the 36 and then the 48 and so on, they're all common multiples. The lowest common multiple, though, is only one, and that's the 12. And that's what I wanted to kind of refresh your memory, because I'm sure you've seen that before. Now let's talk a little bit about factors. Factors are the numbers that they go exactly into another number. So let's just say we have number 12, and I want to find the factors of number 12. Like the technique that I really like, and it works for all the small numbers, is by making a little sort of kind of spider looking thing. So it doesn't matter what the number is going to be. Obviously, the 1 times the number, in this case 1 times 12, is going to be the first pair that's going to give you the number 12. And we can write it here, 1 times 12. And then the next one, because 12 is an even, it's going to be 2 times 6. So 2 times 6. Now the reason that I like this way of setting out my work is because if there is another number, or if there is another pair, then it's definitely going to be a combination of numbers bigger than 2 and smaller than 6. So I shouldn't really have to search at all for any number between 6 and 12. And I hope that makes sense. So the next number that goes in 12 is 3, and it's 3 times 4. And we can write it here, 3 times 4, if you want to see it as a list. And then, because there's no other whole number between 3 and 4, then that means that I'm done with writing down the factors of 12. And let's just talk a little bit, let's just use another number. Let's say number 20, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing. So that's going to be 1 times 20, and then it's even numbers, so it's definitely going to be 2 times 10. So I don't have, again, to search for anything between 10 and 20. 3 doesn't go into 20, 4 goes into 20, 4 times 5, right? And because there's no other whole number between 4 and 5, I know that I've finished. Now, let's talk about the common factors. So the common factors, as you can see, is of course 1 in both of them, then 2, then 4, and then that's it. So if we want to decide which one is going to be the highest common factor, all we have to do is, from the list of factors of the two numbers, to circle the ones and write the highest common factor between 12 and 20 is 4. And that's the end of it. In the next video, I'm going to show you how you can calculate, or how you can find the highest common factor and the lowest common multiple for larger numbers. The one concept that we are going to use whilst we are talking about the factors is going to be the prime factors. Prime factors. So there are some numbers that only have 2 factors, right? And let's start with 2. 2 is going to be 1 times 2, and then there's no other combination. That makes it a prime number. So prime numbers are numbers that they only have one pair of factors, number 1 and themselves. The next one is going to be 3, right? Because 3 is also 1 times 3, so that's also a prime number. 4, we have 2 times 2 and 1 times 4, so that's not going to work. But 5, we have 1 and then times 5, right? And there's no other combination. 2 times 3 is going to be 6 and so on, and the next one is going to be 7. So 1 times 7. All these numbers that they only have 2 legs, like this one, if you think about it, some sort of kind of like, you know, like number of legs that they have, all of those are prime numbers, right? And there's one more thing to finalize this video, is that if we go back into numbers that they're not prime numbers, like 12 that we have here, then from all the factors that you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12, there is one of them, which is 2, which is a prime factor. So it's not just a factor of 12, it's also at the same time a prime number, and that makes it a prime factor. We're going to use this knowledge, so it all will make sense later on. And the same prime factor you have for 20. And 5, sorry, because 20 has both 2 and 5. So that's it for now.